In the last two sessions, we started with the module 2's third chapter. In module 2, it is the third chapter. Actually, it's chapter number 6, process synchronization. There, we have finished a critical section problem, Peterson problem, and synchronization of a hardware. We have finished. Okay. So, in this next sessions, we will try to finish mutex locks, semaphores, classic problems of synchronization, as well as monitors. Okay. So these concepts slightly are difficult. Okay, so we'll try to discuss more and more so that student will get more the confidence. Okay, so what do you mean by critical section is since there are multiple processes executing at a time, they will share a resource. Okay, and since there is a sharing of a resource among multiple processes, there may exist a competition to get the resource or to acquire the resource. So the resource which is shared and the competition among the processes to acquire the resource, okay, so that is called as critical section. So how to solve the critical section? One thing we have studied is cooperation between among the processes. There should be well coordination and cooperation, then we can solve. But it is possible sometimes, it is not possible all the time. Okay, so we have seen the parts of critical section. There will be one entry section where each process should ask a permission to enter. Exit section, that means it can go out. Sometimes without a condition, sometimes with condition it has to exit. So whatever is remaining apart from entry and exit is called as a reminder section. It will be generally like set of printf, scanf, etc. Okay, so we took one general syntax: do state, do while loop, do. Entry section, when you are entering, then only you check. Okay, so whether it is possible or not, like that. Okay, next case, if entry is passed, then directly it will come for exit, critical section. So only when entry section is passed, then only critical section allowed to enter. So once you finish, you can go for exit. So as I mentioned, sometimes exit will have condition. So here you can see what we is a condition of. Okay, and also we have seen some of the algorithms. So entry section, then reminder section, then the exit section, like this we have. Okay, now how to solve the critical section problem? Generally we want three type of solutions. First solution, mutual exclusion. If one process allowed to use, another process should not disturb it. Let the first process who is holding a resource finish his work and make a resource voluntarily. Not all the times this is a correct and this is also feasible solution. So we have already seen the progress and bounded waiting. So progress means once you say the waiting process that you are going to give the resource by this time, once you announce, you should not postpone. That's a progressive. Bounded means whatever the time you say, after this much time the process resource we will share or we will give, that should not be infinite. Okay, so preemptive and non-preemptive definitions we have seen. Then Peterson solution we have seen, where there are two types. It is applicable for only two processes, one process and a process 2. If one process is holding, another process always keeps waiting. Okay, and whoever is using, his flag is going to be under usage or not usage. If it's a usage, it is going to be true. If it's a not usage, it is going to be shown it as false. So in detail we have explained in the previous video session. Please refer it. Okay, just as a recall I am telling you. So what is a Peterson algorithm for? As a PI. So for PI, it's if it is true, that means what? Available. And who is waiting is J. If I is using, definitely J is waiting. So then these two cases should pass. If it passes, it will allow to enter the critical section. Who has allowed is I process is allowed. Okay, so next, up to what it is allowed? Up to its resource become free. Once I process releases the resource, automatically it become not holding. Not holding is shown by false statement. Okay, so that's what simple rewind of a Peterson solution. Next we have seen synchronization of a hardware by the statement of locking method. Okay, these locking are atomic process. That means these will not take more time than microsecond, or lesser than that also it will execute. Okay, so first simple way, apply the lock, use the critical section. Once you finish off using critical section, release the lock, come out. Okay, so that's it, very simple way. So then we have seen one example, test and set. Okay, so how the test and set will do, very simple. I think as I remember, I have given an example of bank processing using token system. So the token number you have called is 50. As a bank representative, I am telling, token you have called is 50. If the exact person who is holding a token 50 comes, no, without asking any question, provide the service. If some other person with some other token number has arrived to the counter, check whether it is possible to send him back. Okay, if possible, send him back. If not, like as I said, if the person is a senior citizen, so try to push back 50th number and give the some other number who is holding that token and provide the service. That is called as compare and swap. Okay, so this is what the function. So if you are calling and whom you are expecting and whom you have called is correct, then allow him to do the work, because up to his work nobody else is allowed to discuss with the counter representative. Okay, now same way, little same explanation, mutex locks. Okay, mutex means two possibility. So first possibility, apply lock, here acquire. Second possibility, release the lock. So whenever we wanted to close a door, we have only two options: lock the door or keep the door open. We cannot have intermediate solution for this. So whether door is locked or door is closed, open, only that we have to decide. So now busy in the waiting. So for what I would like to give you a small real world example is, you have a key. Okay, you have a key, but you are unable to process because maybe that key is you don't know how to unlock it. Okay, so in that time what happens, even though you have all the resource, still you are waiting. Okay, so then comes spin lock. It's unnecessary waste of a time that we will go through. Okay, see now let me explain acquire function and release function. So what do you mean by acquire? It means get the resources. So when to get a resource? Okay, so when it is not available, you can see here, if the resource is not available, we have to wait. If resource is not available, we have to wait. Okay, so then what happens? If resource is not available means available is false. Okay, so is the resource available? No. So that time what, we cannot start usage of the resource. Okay, so then what you have to do, if resource is not available, then we have to wait. Up to what we have to wait? Up to its availability. Once it is available, make the lock. So what do you mean by release? So release function is slightly different meaning. So you are using now. So if you are using a resource, is it available for someone else? If I am using a resource, it is not available for someone else. Okay, so what he has to do? He has to make himself wait, because resource is with me. So for what he is waiting? He is waiting for my turn to complete, so that he can put up he can go for acquire. So he will be in acquire state. Remember, acquire means you are waiting. Okay, so release means what? You are using. So now what happens at end of your release function? End of the release function means what? You make it available for someone else. I repeat again, you make it available for someone else. So you brought a textbook from a library. Okay, that means you are in the release function. Please remember, if resource is with you, release, because resource is already with you. What is only the option you left out? Okay, you cannot keep it for 1 year, 2 years. So there will be a time, after that time you have to release. So if you release it, what is for others available will be true. So now if your friend have the textbook and you are trying to acquire it, how you will try? you will wait. Right now, is it not available? Yes, because it is with my friend. So I am waiting. So up to what I will wait? Up till it is false. Available is false, definitely. Why available is false? Why available false means is not available. Okay, up to what I should wait is till he submits back the textbook to library. I have to wait. As soon as he submit a library, I will go for acquire function successful. So immediately I will enter the release. Till next 15 days it will be in a release mode. Okay. So see the arrangement. Acquire a lock. So you will get a critical section. Use critical section for your time. Then after that time release the lock. Okay. Hope it is clear with the acquire and release. So third concept. Now the two concepts, which is Peterson solution as well as the synchronization of a hardware, difficult to explain as well as difficult to implement. For this reason we have slightly easier than these two concepts, semaphores. Okay, so first and foremost, some of the concepts is semaphores is not a only two-step function. Like, okay, here you see in Peterson solution what we have is, here you see. Okay, so in Peterson solution, if either you wait or you use only these two, and these two option is present between what? Pi and Pj, as I mentioned here, Pi and Pj. So what happens for second synchronization of hardware? Again, either acquire lock or release the lock. Acquire the lock, release the lock. But what is the difference between Peterson and this synchronization hardware is, in Peterson the two steps and between two processes, but here two steps but it is among many processes. Okay, whereas semaphore is many options with many processes at a time. I repeat, many options with many processes at a time. So now what we can see in our operating system is high-end semaphores. Today's semaphores are well solved, but what we are studying is how the semaphore was introduced very first time and how it has changed to today's. Very simple way, I would like to give similarities. How was the first mobile, or some 10 years back mobile? It was a very small in device, only text messages or only audio signals. Now what we can do bank transaction, we can send images, photos of a nature, we can download some tutorial files, we can even try to install a software in our mobile devices, some MX maximum utilization of resources, etc. we can do. Okay, that means what here? So many today's whatever this system we have, it has many options. Okay, and it is in today's present scenario, it is very tuned. Tuned means what? Okay, it was not same like some years before, but now it is very tuned. Now semaphore, what we are studying from is how the semaphore was introduced from in the beginning days. That means from difficult stage to today's, from simple stage to today's complex stage. But still I suggest students may feel difficult to understand old semaphores, and without studying old semaphore, today's complex semaphores becomes again difficult. So concentrate and try to understand the concepts. Okay, as I mentioned, it's a easier way to achieve process synchronization. It is better option than the process hardware synchronization as well as Peterson solution. And here, so semaphore doesn't mean it's something like activity or something. Semaphore is name of a variable, you can easily think. So semaphore is a name of a variable or type of a variable. We can see what is the type of it is going to store is, it will be integer. Okay, so what do you mean by integer? It can be 0, it can be 25, it can be 35, it can be 85 or 32,000. Like that it can be up to from 0 to 32,000. Okay, now, and also please remember it is it will be almost minus range to plus range of the integer. Okay, now there are two main activities whenever we are studying a semaphore. One is wait and another one is signal. Okay, so what you mean by wait is you have not yet got a resource. Very simple. You have not got a resource. And what you mean by signal is just now you have got a resource, use a resource and get the work done. I repeat, wait is a function on a semaphore. That means resource is not with you and you have to wait. So signal means you have to do the work. Now one more similarity is there is one textbook, only one textbook. For understanding purpose I am telling, only one textbook is there. Many students want to use it. So first student will get a textbook from the library. Okay, so what it means? Signal for first person. So what happens for all the remaining students? It's a wait. Okay, so next what happens after 1 week of a time, he will submit back to the library. So second person will take. So for second person, all these days it was a wait. From today onwards it is a signal. And for remaining all the students including first student, it's a wait. Okay, hope it is clear now. Okay, now always you remember wait should be less than or equal to 0. So if wait is 10, that means you have to wait for 10 days. Okay, wait for 10. If it is 0, when s becomes 0, that means s is a variable. When s becomes 0, you got a resource. If s is positive, resource is coming late. Very simple. Here you say, if I make this s as 10 here, you have to wait for 10 days. Here I will write a comment. Wait for 10 days. Okay, next, what is the operation we have here? Please make a very important observation. S minus minus. So next 9 days. Next 8 days. Next 7 days. Like that up to what? 1 day. We have to wait for 1 day. When it reaches to 0, so when it reaches to 0, so then what happens? Your wait is complete. When it reaches to 0, your wait is completed. So wait is completed means what? You have got the signal. Okay, now if it is a signal, what is its definition here? If it's a signal, the definition is, here I will write a comment, resource is with you. You means process. So now I want to read that textbook for, if I keep the textbook with me for first day, okay, if I keep it for another day, okay, another day, like that. So totally how much time or how many days I have kept with me? It's a plus. Up to what I can keep? I hope you can see. According to our college library, a student can keep up to 10 days. So once it reaches a 10, automatically you have to submit back because you have reached your threshold. Okay, so resource is with you and you have reached the threshold date, means not a threshold, let me say limit date. That means 10 days is a limit and you have reached those number of days. So submit back to the library. So when it is a signal, it means start activity. So start activity, always it's a plus. Wait activity, always it's a minus. Hope you remember this in the further discussions. So how to use semaphores? It's by count semaphore and binary semaphore. Whatever I have explained so far is a count semaphore. It will have numbers more than 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Whereas binary semaphore is, it has only the value between 0 and 1. That means if you have a resource, make it 1 because you are holding a resource. If you don't have a resource, show it as 0. That means you doesn't have resource with you. Okay, so now comes next concepts. Okay, so please concentrate. Okay, so here let me assume two processes P1 and P2, and there are semaphores S1 and S2, or even you can think resources as S1 and S2. So now simple first question, if process 1 gives synchronization, signal what process 2 should do? Should he also give signal? That's not possible. What he has to do is wait. So I told you in the previous slide, if one person is waiting, that means another person definitely have the textbook. If person A have a textbook, person B is waiting. Sorry, person B has the textbook, that means he is reading, that means signal. What person A is doing, he is waiting. So after that day, after some days, person A will get a textbook, that means person B will be in a waiting state. So in the same way, when person 1 executes a signal, person 2 should execute a wait. So next case is what? If person 2, here I write, if person 2 or process 2 executes signal, what the person 1 should do? Person means process. He has to execute a wait. Okay. So also you change these small indices. Okay. So because those are name of the routine, whatever they should do. Okay. S1 and S4. Hope it is clear now. Usage. How to use it? Both cannot. Okay. One more condition, possibility. Can both use wait? Yes. This case is there. Note I will type. P1 wait for synchronization, and also P2 executes wait for synchronization. Yes, this is allowed. When this is allowed? Can anybody predict? When this is allowed when activity is not yet started. Okay. So once the activity is started, anyone can use. What is not allowed? Not allowed is this one. P1 signal SY and CH synchronization. Also P2 executing signal of synchronization. This is not allowed. Both cannot execute signal. Both can execute wait. Anyone can execute wait and signal together. I hope it is clear now. How to implement the semaphores? So now the question. Okay, so see, once we understood a semaphore, which means two functions, wait and signal. So how we have to implement? So the part is, when a process is in its a critical section, if it is a critical section, definitely a process is executing signal stage. Okay, so any other process is not allowed to enter that. So that means any other process is not allowed to execute signal. I mentioned here, first process 1 is executing signal, that means process 2 should not execute the signal. Okay, actually this is his wrong, because P1 is already in the signal part. So P2 has done a mistake. So what they will do is, instead of allowing P2 to execute a signal, it will made as executing unnecessary loops or waiting of a CPU cycles. That is called as busy waiting in the critical section. Okay. So now what you mean by busy waiting is wasting of the CPU cycles. Why it has to waste is is because already resource is with another process called P1. So P2 should not execute. It can execute only when we have priority, that we are going to study in the next class. Okay, I mean in future. Okay, but here to execute this, to execute a signal by P2, it has to wait. So this waiting is called as busy waiting. Okay, so what is the one more option we have if we don't want make the process to busy wait is spin lock. So what do you mean by spin lock? Write one infinite while loop and make the process to enter into that that loop. So that is called as spin lock. I hope here the word was spin lock. That makes executing one process, making process in infinite loop. Okay, so once it enters the infinite loop, definitely what it will become is spin lock. Okay, so now, but in the case in here, once the process enters a spin lock, sometimes it is difficult to take it out because it's an infinite loop. So we have to stop all the activities and bring that process back to the normal execution. Okay, so now here how to go without a busy waiting. How to do this without a busy waiting? For that, what we have is not only not only wait and signal. We have two more states called as block and wake up. So I mentioned here. So all these previous methods, either two activities, use or don't use. Okay, so Peterson solution, use or don't use between two processes. Hardware synchronization, use or don't use between among processes. But here semaphore means not only use or free, along with that activities increases plus among many processes. What are the two activities? Block and wake up. So block means what? Once you means process enters one critical section, block the area so that no other process can enter that critical section. And so right now what happens is you took a textbook and you will send a message to your friends that I took a textbook. So there is only one textbook and I took that. So what every student should do? They have to wait. Okay, so wait for what? 15 days. So what happens after 10 days? Your preparation is got over. So what you will do? You will put one more message. So they are blocked for 15 days actually. But suddenly what happens after 10 days? You want to change the textbook. So what you will do? You will put up a message in the group that I am going to submit this book. If you want, you can take it. So suddenly what happens for all the remaining students? They will wake up. So for what they will wake up? They will wake up and they are in the wait. They will be shifted from waiting to ready. So suddenly they will try to get ready and come to college. Whoever will come to college first, that person will get a textbook. Hope it is clear now. Okay, so how to implement this? There is one structure. It's a value. Okay, and a self-pointing structure. So that is called as list. Okay, so list. This will implement. The name of structure is semaphore. Okay, so now I am using a semaphore structure variable. So what are the variables present inside semaphore structure? Is one is integer called value. Another one is a pointer who is pointing for list. So what is its list? List is a structure process. So let's try to find out where we have the structure for process. Okay, so process means activity, what it is going to do. This different processes like different activities like wait, then signal, then block, then here what it was, wake up. Okay, so now here for the semaphore, here I mentioned what you mean by wait. I repeat, wait means semaphore value decrement, signal means semaphore value increment. So same function it is implemented using here. So what is the function? Wait. So wait is made up of what? Structure variable called s. So s arrow mark value minus minus. It's an access variable, access operator. Okay. So now up to what it should reduce means you are waiting for, you know that your friend took a textbook which you also wanted from the library, and now today's date is somewhere means something 15. Okay, so from 15th how many days you have to wait? 10 days. So what happens? 25th. Okay, now 10 days you are waiting, you are about to wait 10 days. So you will every day you will wait. So 10 becomes 9, 9 becomes 8, 8 becomes 7, like that. So once that value is less than 0, then what happens? You have got the resource. You have got the resource. If you have got the resource, what you will do for next 10 days? What you will do the textbook 10 days? What you have did, what your friend did for first 10 days, that you are going to do for next 10 days, because you have the resource. So you are going to block the textbook. So it will be there with you for next 15 days. So next 15 days if you have directly, that means you are entering a signal. So what is meaning of signal, which I have explained? Signal means you have the resource is with you. Start preparation. So how you will prepare? See now, you took a first day, you prepared a notes on chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, like that. Okay, so now here what I do, it mean your process, okay, it's less than 0. Okay, so once it reaches the threshold, so if we make it as n, let's say 10. Okay, so once it becomes a 10, what happens now? It is your duty to give back the process, so remove it. Okay, remove it and make all other process to wake up. So what you will do, I am going to submit the textbook today, so whoever wanted, you can continue, like that you will mention it. Is it clear now how the semaphore will work? Please remember these programs either in the C part or in the data structure method. Okay, now, so what do you mean by deadlock and starvation? It is still the part of semaphores, please do remember. So what do you mean by deadlock is many processes waiting for same resource and other process also. That means, see here, there are 2 students and there are 2 textbooks. Student number 1, student number 2, S1, S2. Textbook T1, textbook T2. S1 has T1, S2 has T2. Listen carefully. S1 has T1, S2 has T2. So what happens here is, let me type here so that you can imagine. Okay, here student 1 has textbook 1 and student 2 has textbook 2 separately. Okay, now what student 1 wants is, he wants or he is in the need of textbook 1 also textbook 2 to submit his assignment. In the same way, student 2 also belongs to same class. He also need to submit the assignment. Whatever he has, along with that he wants textbook 1. So now what happens? The last date of assignment is very near, so he is not able to give back T1 and he is not able to give back T2. So what happens? You cannot finish your assignment, he also cannot finish his assignment. You both doesn't want to give whatever you have and you are not sufficient with what you have, then that case is called as deadlock. I hope it is clear now. See here, there are 2 processes called P0 and P1. It is waiting for S. It is waiting for S. See, process 1 is also waiting for S. What about process 2? It is not only waiting for process 1, it is not only waiting for Q, it is also waiting for Q. Okay. Next, somewhere, see in the different time slice, P0 require same time. You can see here, P0 require S, also Q. S and also Q. P0 requires Q and P1 requires S. So finally what happens? See here, I mentioned S1 has a textbook 1, S2 has a textbook 2. They doesn't not only need a present textbook, also they need extra textbook. So also along with that, they are not ready to give the whatever they have because they want it for writing the assignment. So in such situation, it is difficult for them to finish the work. So what is the only option have is, it's for sharing. Okay, so that is one solution. So now comes to solve this. Now one option what the operating system introduces is, between P0 and P1, which process has the highest priority, for them it will allocates. So whatever we will get in our mobile or in a computer, we will never feel deadlock because already our operating system has that intelligence to avoid deadlock. But what happened some 100 years back or some 80 years back was, they introduced some concept because of deadlock. The computer is still in the deadlock, means computer is unable to come out from the deadlock situation. So that is wastage of resources. So to how to make starvation means hungerness, simple word. Okay, so if we are unable to remove the process from long deadlock, it will leads into starvation. So to provide this, to avoid this solution, we have a priority inversion. That means either give by priority or change any of the priorities and try to give the try to give solution and get the system out from deadlock and starvation conditions. So now slightly that finishes our semaphore. Okay, so let me repeat what are the things we have tried for semaphore. Semaphore means, okay, for critical section problem, it will also provide a solution not only with the two options among two processes, it will provide more options among more processes. The two standard functions are wait and signal. Wait means s is reducing because s is an integer. Till it reaches a 0, it can reduce. So once wait value reaches 0, wait is completed. So you got a resource. So take a resource, start doing the work. So till you reach a highest value, go on doing the work. Once you reach the highest value, submit back the resource. Okay. Two type of semaphores are there, counting and binary. Counting means whatever I have explained. Binary means either resource is with you or not. If you are waiting, that means what? Resource is not with you, that show it by 0. If resource is with you, then it is called as you have a resource. That means you are doing signal work. Hope it is clear. Signal and wait. So one process is doing signal, no other person is allowed to do the signal. One person is doing signal, another process can do wait and have to do wait. Both can wait, no problem. That means not yet started. Okay. So implementation of semaphore using two functions, wait and signal. Okay. So whenever one process is holding for a long time, if another process want to acquire the resource, so make it busy wait. Okay. By making it into enter the infinite loop. So making in pushing into the infinite loop sometimes makes wastage of resources. Okay. So to avoid that, we have two things, block and wake up. So what do you mean by block? If one process holds the resource successfully or acquires the resource successfully, then block that area. Till what? Till its work done or time finishes. Once its work done or time finishes, give one wake up message for all who are waiting, so they can wait, and whoever has the highest priority or something, so they will get the resource. So semaphore is implemented using here structures. In the structure there is one integer value and pointer for the list. Okay. Wait function. So wait function, as I mentioned, it reduces the value of s once it is becomes less than or equal to 0. Okay, less than or equal to 0. It is in the wait state. Once you get a wait, don't forget to block, because at end of wait, once it reaches 0, your waiting is finished. So you got a resource, block the resource. Okay. Next what happens? You already got the resource. That means start work. Signal means start working. So you have started a work, do the work for some time and apply the resource. Okay. So once the value reaches highest, okay, highest, that means now you have to give the resource back. So when you are giving, give the wake up message for the waiting processes. So they can compute, anyone may get a resource. Okay. So during this, the possibilities are there. Deadlock and starvation may occur. Deadlock means two processes fighting for this extra resource along with their existing resource. That time they are not interested to give already existing resource. Along with the existing, they want the resource which is continuously held by other process or other system. So both are not ready to give the resources back to the other process. So that leads to deadlock. So if we are unable to stop the deadlock, it leads to the starvation. So to avoid this deadlock and starvation, we have priority method or priority inversion method, in which we will change the priority and try to get a solution out from it. Okay. So now let's continue. 3 more classical problems of synchronization. So what we have done, let me take you into the introduction slide or contents slide. Hope you will understand. So fourth and fifth points we have finished just now. Okay, even the fifth point we have finished. Now last two problems, classic problems of synchronization and monitors. Okay, so here for these two I'll prepare one more video. Okay, thank you here.